Hello, loves. Wow, we're in the middle of January already in 2026. How's your love life going? What about your resolutions? Today I want to talk about holding yourself accountable for your own growth. And there's different levels of this. Personal growth is second nature to me. I could never give it up if I wanted to. I've been doing it so long. But I still have to be conscious and awake to where I'm going with my personal growth and what I'm not dealing with. There's still aspects of me that rather not look at something, and I have to be awake to that. Why did I just do that? I just totally forgot that I was supposed to do that. Look at that question. Look at that thought that triggered me. Because it's easy for us to just go on and do what we're doing and just let it pass. I listened to supposed dating expert this week, and I had to jump off. I couldn't listen to it anymore. This person doesn't have a degree in psychology. I don't even know that they have any real training in the relationship dynamics other than this one certification that he has. And though I love a lot of what he said, the part that I can't stomach, literally makes me nauseous, is the part where he said, we surveyed so many women, I don't know, 20, 30 women in our group, and they all said that men are safer now. And as opposed to 10, 15, 20 years ago. And I was just women are still in danger. And the means at which the sexual violence is happening has just gotten more and more covert. And there's drugs, and there's all kinds of ways that they do it now. And that kind of thing is designed to sell packages to women who probably don't know how to look into it themselves or haven't really sat with it. And they're probably not trained in how to detect unsafe men. And a lot of women are not trained in how to detect unsafe men. So they may feel safe with unsafe men until they're not. And sometimes that happens after they've been in a relationship with them for a while. And then the man's true colors show up later. And then it ends up in all sorts of drama, abuse. And so what I would like to say is it's not for any man to decide for any woman whether men today are safer. Not even based on 20 women. Not even based on 100 women. Not even based on 1,000 women. There's too many women in this world, too many different situations, and too many different ways that men can abuse women. And to tell women that men are safer now is ludicrous. What you tell women is, learn how to detect an unsafe man. And that way, you can vet them out. And you'll notice a safe man when he shows up. We don't have to talk about odds. We don't have to talk about percentages. We just need to know how to detect an unsafe man. And then it really doesn't matter, does it? If you're skilled in that kind of thing, and that's not foolproof, by the way, you can still get attacked or have something horrible happen even when you are capable of detecting an unsafe man. You could even have safety measures in place and still have something happened with an unsafe man, but the chances are slimmer. And you're less of a target when a man can detect that you are safe and secure within yourself and you know what to do to take care of yourself. And so I had to leave the meeting. I couldn't stomach it anymore because I was like, you're telling women that to sell them packages. And as a man, he feels men are safe because he's a safe man. He's projecting that onto other men. And I don't think that he even understands what projection is. But it's very unsafe in a world, and especially if you have daughters, to tell them that the majority of men out there are safe, because it's not true. So this is the part that's hard, because people tell you all kinds of things and they have credentials, and I'm even talking PhDs. That does not mean that they have the depository of all knowledge. It is up to you to discern. It's up to you to take charge of your own healing. And if something feels off, start investigating it. Notice those feelings in your gut. Notice your nervous system. Notice how your body's responding. And I'm even saying, as I spoke to you before in a past episode, you listen to your body when it gets all of a sudden really happy and euphoric, because that is also a trigger. You're curious about these things. There's so many people out there telling you so many things, and the only way you can know for yourself what is true is to be in control of your own personal growth. I mean, I've been to therapists that were wonderful therapists overall, and they still said things that weren't accurate. They still said things were harmful, because they're human beings. Even ChatGPT doesn't have all the answers, and please, dear God, don't listen to that. But because those therapists were good, I still continued to go to them, because good therapists are hard to find. But I also came home and journaled about it and questioned what they said. And if it didn't sit well with me, I investigated it. I get on the internet and I start doing my own research about it so that I can make a conscious choice about what they said. And then I could decide to believe it or not. But oftentimes we go to these experts or therapists, we sit there and we talk and talk and talk, and they give us a little bit of advice, and we go home and we think nothing of it until the next time we go into their office and we talk a little bit and they tell us a little bit. And well, you really probably don't get very far in your personal development with that. You see, you have to be proactive. You have to be in the driver's seat where you want to go with your personal development. Where do you want to go with your relationships? We can't be passive in our own growth. I mean, obviously we can, but it might get you into difficulties, or it might just not get you anywhere. Now, there's been times when I've been going to therapy for a while and I was just like, oh my God, I just don't feel like getting anywhere. And so I just started trying to find the answers myself. And I did. It was amazing. And I did it on my own. I did still have a therapist. I still did go to therapy. And I still took charge of my own growth. And you can go from one therapist to the next, and they might all tell you about the same thing, and it still doesn't sit with you well because it doesn't work for you. You still have to sit down and try to find the answers for yourself. And this dating expert, I would suggest that you don't listen to, because the statistics are still high. It's not accurate information. And I've already done podcasts on the manosphere and how men get into groups and post non-consensual sexual images and target women, and there is all kinds of stuff going on to sexually assault women. And he just doesn't know that because he's not involved in that, and he's not a woman. He's privileged. Decide for yourself if a man's safe or not. Take your time, investigate, feel your way through it. And yes, sometimes you're going to make a mistake. I know I have. And you have to pay attention to your nervous system, because my nervous system was conditioned to be safe around unsafe men. And that's why I kept getting with unsafe men. And it took me a long while to figure out that my nervous system was calm around unsafe men. But the other aspects of me was not calm. But I was going with what my nervous system was showing me, as most of us do. And I now woke up to the fact that, oh, I can't really trust that. But no one gave me that information. I had to learn that for myself. No therapist told me that. It's because I was frustrated because I just was not getting anywhere, that I just dug in and tried to find out the answer, and I did. And I'm really glad that I did. If I had just sit and listened to what the therapist said in session, I would still be doing what I was doing back then. Because in their mind, you just make a different choice, and that wasn't even working for me. I was choosing differently every single time, and it still wasn't safe men. Now, I'm not here to talk down about therapy. Certainly not. I go to therapy. I love going to therapy. I think everyone should go to therapy. It's wonderful to be invested in your mental health. I'm just saying that we have to be the one directing our life and deciding where we want to go with our personal growth and healing. And we cannot just passively sit in the office and expect someone else to do that for us. Likewise, if you're in a meeting and a dating coach is trying to sell you packages and he tells you that the majority of men are safe in the world, it's up to you to not listen to him, because likely he's going to keep saying it. Watch those hooks and watch who's going to be the one to benefit from you believing that story. In that situation, it would have been him if you'd bought a package. I know it's really a wonderful thought, isn't it? That the majority of men are safe in the world. And I wish that was the reality. But we're raising daughters now in a situation where we have severe unsafety going on in social media and online and in men's groups. And so I really just feel very passionate about this subject. Certainly, if you've always been around safe men and you always end up with safe men and you've had that privilege in your life, that's amazing. It really is. And just know that not every woman is that way. And there's a variety of reasons why. But it doesn't mean that they're choosing badly. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. It doesn't mean they're asking for it. It just means that you've been privileged. You probably grew up in a home where men were safe. And so you attract safe men. It doesn't mean all women do. So let's not project our privilege onto other people. What would benefit us is to say, I hope you know how to protect yourself. I hope you've learned how to vet men so that you can get away sooner. I hope you have precautions in place when you go out on dates. And let each woman decide for themselves if a man's safe or not. We don't have the right to decide that for them. So this year, there's a lot going on in the world in general. Right now, in particular, a lot of people are having all kinds of strong emotions and lots of things are going on. It's a time to really buckle down on taking control of where you're growing, where you want to go, what you want to heal, and your own safety. And just realize that it's your life, it's your dreams, it's your desires. So grab a hold of that steering wheel and steer it in the direction that you want it to go. And you have to be willing to look at the stuff that gets in the way, work through that, and then head on through again. It's a process. And for me, it's been a challenging process. And it's very rewarding because I love myself very much now and I've grown tremendously. I'm in a better place in life now because of taking charge of my own personal growth. That's all the time we have for today. I hope that helps. Until next time, stay conscious, pay attention, and if you don't, notice.